Hi, folks. Good morning, good evening, as per your time zone. Hope you're doing well. I'm Kumkum Sharma from Bridge, and I'm back again on my open live session episode 25. And I would like to welcome you all in this session. And please participate. Whatever questions you have, just post your questions because the agenda is not driven by me, it's driven by you only. And format is very simple. No matters whether you're watching from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, just post your questions in the comment section. I'll include your questions and Saket will answer your questions. Hi Saket, thank you very much joining again with me.
Hello.
So Saket, over to you. Tell me how you want to start the session.
Perfect. So we can pick up something from our comment section and then we can take it from there. I see that there is a comment on LinkedIn, but I do see that that comment is also not coming here. That's the little strange thing. In the
Yeah.
StreamYard, we are unable to see that comment, the LinkedIn comment. So seems to be there is some challenge there while dealing with the LinkedIn comment. So that's something we need to deal with, but I can't ignore that part much because seems to be that there are people on the LinkedIn. So we will do something. We will do something. I will keep eye on LinkedIn somehow, and we will see. So Jyotsna has something, and Ranga has written something. Okay, yeah. So there are things here and there. Perfect. So, uh, welcome everyone. If you are watching it from LinkedIn or you are watching it from YouTube, you can use the comment section and raise your queries. Primarily, we just want to have a conversation around the programs we offer or the topics which get covered in our program so that you can make informed decision related to choosing the appropriate certification for your career enhancement. So that's the only objective we have for running this session. Now, for that, we need to also give you the opportunity to bring the questions here. That's the whole idea of doing this particular session. So I see one question posted on our LinkedIn space, which is primarily asking about who should write the user story and acceptance criteria. Is the product owner should do it? Is the developer should do it? Or the client should do it? Or the Scrum Master should do it? And that seems to be an interesting thing. Yeah, this is something we have been hearing in most of our training programs also. Who should write the user story? Now, first, we also need to understand in which context this is asked. There could be a theoretical answer. If I am a service organization and I am only responsible for doing what I am expected to do based on someone is giving us some requirement, then I may have this contractual understanding that who should define the requirement. And in those particular cases, the person who is giving you the money should define the requirement. You should not be defining something and making on your own. Who will pay for it? You write your own story and make it, and then customer will say, why you did all this? Yeah, who told you to do it? So probably someone has to tell you, and now the person tells you by way of telling you the requirement or writing the user story. That could be a separate mechanics part of it, but someone has to tell you the requirement in case of you are having the vendor supplier kind of a relationship. So you may need to identify the client representative or an authorized process of collecting the right requirement coming to you. That's something you do that. Now, if it is a common team and you have our one goal of achieving as a product, then the situation gets changed. Now all of you are together and you are working to figure out the details of the requirement and incrementally developing the product. In that particular case, all of us are together. It is not about the product owner doing something or a scrum master doing something. We are all together. Now someone might be leading that effort, so we do expect the role played by product owner is expected to be a leader and facilitator when it comes to discovery, prioritization, elicitation of the requirement. So that should be the leading thing. Now leading is a one thing and execution is the another thing. Sometimes the leader may end up doing the execution of those things as well. Sometimes the leader may take support, but the accountability remains with the leader. So if something is not working, if the right priorities are not coming, the leader has to own it. A product owner cannot say, oh, what do I do? This developer wrote the user story and made something, now I don't know what they have done it. then we have a problem. But yeah, once I have an accountability, I understand what has to be done, then the detailing of it, understanding of it can be done by anyone who is willing and capable of doing it can do that. Yeah, but accountability remains with the person who is leading the product requirement discovery role. So product owner should lead it in the most of the cases, and then execution can be done by anyone. Yeah, so that's something I can say related to this user story stuff, and we can explore something as we go along. Yeah. Okay, so we have a question. uh, how to deal with a user story not meeting the definition of done and need to be spilled over. So one is that what is a scrum recommendation for it in general, or what should we do as a team? Yeah, there could be a different a way of looking at this particular question as well. Now in general, the scrum way of looking at thing is, let's not complicate the process, because we are working on 2 week duration or a small iteration duration, and we are picking up small requirement. Now, once we have a small duration plan and the small items coming into the plan, then we don't want to work into the situation where you have a partial completion or not fully completed. So to simplify it, we just want to work on 2 stage: it's done or not done. So there is nothing in between. Yeah, that's the, from at least from a measurement point of view, at least for our understanding what we are doing. And in order to make this clear distinction every iteration, and we are keeping the iteration duration small, and we are also taking small items into it. That's the whole idea. Now if you have a situation where something is not done, it's not done, that's it, which means it goes back to the product backlog, and then we prioritize when should we make it done. Maybe in the next iteration you may want to make it done, or maybe you want to schedule it for later on. Yeah, there is a possibility. Say for example, you want to go somewhere and you want to have a tea in between. Now the tea takes is not ready, it takes 5 more minutes now, but you need to leave after that time. Now there is a possibility you may go without tea, and you may not have that tea after leaving. It's not like that, okay, I will have tea after 1 hour, or while I am reaching there I will have tea. You may just skip taking the tea or a coffee, and you do your job afterwards, because that requirement has been dropped because it was not ready at that point in time. Since it was not ready, I forget about it. There is a possibility if I have to do something else which may get done while I am moving. Say I may need to read something before I meet my client, and I was expected to read at home, but somehow I missed it. I may catch up in the while like reaching or traveling to that particular location, and I may finish it. So there is no one rule, it should be done in this way or that way. The idea here is, every iteration boundary, we have an opportunity to revisit what it matters at this particular stage. What is the priority now? And how do we make best use of our time looking at today's priority? Now, there is a possibility your priorities are not changing and something is partially completed in the previous iteration. You may want to continue that. So there is no problem in it, but we can't just say it happens all the time. Yeah, there is a possibility where you may decide not to do it. So whatever is done is done. Whatever is not done, it's a part of everything which is not done, and we revisit at it by finding out what is the best thing to do in the upcoming iteration. So that's something I can say. You can handle with the spillover or whatever you call it, but yeah, that's the process which should help. Now you may have your own reasons to deal things differently, and we need to see if those things are helping or not helping. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we have, fortunately, looks like the LinkedIn started working and the comments started coming in here. That's a good news. Yeah, so I can see it here and I can see things are popping up. Good. So we take the another question. Can we work towards becoming a product owner instead of a Scrum Master, or a Scrum Master a prerequisite for becoming a product owner? Now, incidentally, I can say this is something which I am getting from last 2 weeks. And I can say a good number of professionals are finding the role towards the product more interesting than always working into the project management or people management space. So the idea here is, there is no path. It's not like that you fun has to become a scrum master, then only the person can become product owner. There is no path like this. The skill there might be some overlapping skill when you talk about Scrum Master and product owner, like stakeholder management, communication, working, and like kind of managing expectation. So anyway, you have to deal with people. You are talking about requirement or prioritization, or you are talking about getting things done, resolving impediment. You need to deal with people. So people skill, engagement skill, those soft skills might be an overlapping area. So for both Scrum Master and product owner might need it. Now, what the unique focus of a product owner or a product management role is discovering of the right requirement, working with the stakeholder to discover what really matters. What should I put into the product so that it delivers the desired value to the end customer? So that's the unique skill which I need to develop. If I focus on that, I am developing myself towards a product owner role. So like understanding the customer need, understanding various techniques to capture the customer needs by way of doing market research, by doing user research, by way of conducting various interviews, observations, understanding particular domains and their trends. So by doing it, you know what is really needed in a given product. You empathize with the customer. You can watch and see the things the way customer might be looking at your product. So the more and more skill you get in that particular space, you are more and more ready for product ownership, product management role. So that's the path. You can start with business analysis skills. You can start with management knowledge or a product knowledge, marketing knowledge related to that particular area. And these are the things which can help you in growing into the product leadership space. Yeah. So no relationship with the Scrum Master or a project management. Yeah, but yeah, there are overlapping skills which one has to pick up. Okay, so yeah, I think Kapil, we discussed it. Thank you. Yeah, we see this. Okay, so we have a question: who is responsible to ROI? How to calculate ROI in Agile? So the idea here is who is getting the money? Yeah, and whoever is getting the money should ensure that we make a best use of money. So who is giving you the money to do something? So see, like this, you want to make a product or a development team is working on a product. Who told you to do that work? Now they probably may not start on their own. If they start on their own, they should fund that thing on their own also from their own pocket. So someone is funding that particular initiative, and someone is having a case that I will make best use of this time and effort, and that's why we want to do it. Now the group or the individual who is funding it should own it. Yeah, I can't say I wanted to make money, I give something and I say, oh, I don't know why this money is not coming. You are the one who are spending the money, you are the one who are liking this idea. Now you need to ensure the return on investment also comes in. Yeah, that's the one thing. Now, be it agile project, be it non-agile project, we need to focus on benefit realization. So it's like this, something we explored and we wanted to work on it, and then we see, is it really giving us a benefit or not? Now, depending on the organization context, you may have different people doing this role. From a Scrum perspective, the product owner fits well. Yeah, depending upon your organization, also look that role in that way. It depends, which organization is doing what. But in general, from a Scrum perspective, the product owner is the one who is getting the money, in a way, getting the power to spend money, which by way of prioritizing the product backlog. If I am saying do this, or seems to be the best thing, if that is not the best thing, I should be owning it. That's the whole idea. So that's the case. In case of project or a predictive life cycle, or a normal working, non-agile working, you may have some set of stakeholders along with the project manager owning it. So you may have a team which is taking care of a benefit realization, and they may keep eye on how the ROI projections are working on, and based on that, they do it. Now, how do we calculate ROI? So there will be a prediction for ROI, and there will be new data coming on based on the ROI. So ROI calculation needs only one thing: estimated returns and estimated expenses, two things in a way. But the challenge is both of them are estimate, and both of them can be wrong. Yeah. So only by periodically revisiting them, we need to find it out. So when you start working on a product, you know how much expense you have already done and how much expense more it will be needed. And when you have made first few releases, you will know what were the return you have received and what a more return you can get in the next 2 years time, 3 years time. So usually organization put some time horizon, and they identify what money is coming and what is anticipated money coming in. If you have an incremental releases, then it's relatively easy to correct your path related to ROI. If the release only happens at the end, then the project team might be gone by the time ROI will come, but the benefit realization team will take care of it. So it depends upon where you set up in the whole organization context. These kind of topics we do explore more and more in the PMP space, and that's because it goes beyond a particular delivery dimension. Yeah. So that much I can say related to ROI or agile or non-agile space. Yeah. Okay. So please tell me how much technology knowledge is needed to become a program manager in IT sector, especially to become a Scrum Master. So there are two questions, but seems to be the one. So the question, if I rephrase it, seems to be that do I need to have a technical knowledge in order to do a project management, program management, or a Scrum Master kind of job? Can I be a leader without knowing the technology? Yeah, so that seems to be the question. Now, this is something we have explored few times, and I did the job analysis also to figure that out. In our client database or in a client conversation, and in fact on 𝐎𝐲𝐞𝐧 we had an interview of one lady who moved from quality role to a Scrum Master role, pretty successful, and she is sharing her story at our channel 𝐎𝐲𝐞𝐧.com, so one can go and also see how it happened. So it is not necessarily to be an expert in technology to get into the leadership or a facilitation role. So program management, project management, Scrum Master is a facilitation, stakeholder management role, and it is not a technology expert role. And as the trends are going on, the technology experts may end up earning more money than the facilitator role. So now some organization may want to have both in the one person, but usually the more and more trend we see, especially the organizations which are getting into matured space, they may not like to overlap the technological skills in the leadership roles. Yeah, so they usually don't necessarily make you talk about technical skills. Now, what kind of a technological skill one might needed is ensuring that one empathize with what work is getting done in your space, so that you can facilitate the objective of build quality in. So it means you can ensure that people are not taking shortcuts. We have a sufficient amount of checks and balances in place so that ultimately our product will achieve the desired objective by taking care of quality standards in place. So that much skill, that much understanding, that much empathizing should be there in any leader. And that's what is expected for Scrum Master, program manager as well. So you don't necessarily have to code. You don't necessarily have to do a configuration change, but you should be able to appreciate what matters when someone is doing something, and how do you ensure that people don't take shortcut around doing the things. So that much skill is needed from a technology space. Yeah, and we have good number of examples where people from requirement space, people from quality assurance space becoming successful Scrum Masters and project managers. So there is enough examples in the market. Okay, so is the leading safe certificate is better than CSM? I mean, looking at the future prospect, jobs, pay, skills, which one is better? So see, the certification alone may not change your salary alone, yeah, because else it's a very easy thing to do. You go and spend say few thousand rupees and get a certificate and then get a better salary. Maybe many people might be marketing it that way, that you do this certificate and you earn more money, but certification alone may not. But at the same time, certification also has a role to play. It shows your commitment for the learning. It puts you at a place where people start looking at you, because even if you may see so many people are doing certification, in my understanding not more than 10% of working population will end up doing certification. There will be a good 90% population who does nothing. Yeah, so it puts you into that 10% space where you are focused. That's the one thing. Now the CSM kind of knowledge is a certification, puts you at a space where you show that I want to master the Scrum Master role. So it is primarily meant for team leadership, Scrum team leadership role. Yeah, that's what the Scrum Master certification communicates. Again, 2 days of learning is not equivalent to becoming a team leader, but that's a communication. You are putting your effort to learn and mature that skill. Where you are going for a leading safe program, then you are going to learn how the scaled agile framework helps in applying or enabling agility at an enterprise level. So the leading safe certificate communicates that you understand how safe makes the whole organization agile and how it works. Yeah, so that communication comes in. Now, which one makes you more money? Usually, when you have a better understanding of Scrum, because you probably will be coming from a team leadership space, and then you exhibit that I can also apply Agile at a large scale, might be useful. So, again, comparing these two might be difficult. Doing these two together might be a good idea in a way if you have desired experiences. You might say, oh, I have been working at Scrum Master role for 6-7 years, overall project management and everything, 15 years experience. I may want to do quickly something. You probably do both, yeah, and that can help you to uh, enable your certification profile, but it has to match with your experience. Just certification may not be making you successful in the interview. It can get the interview call, but after that, things will come as per your experience as well. Yeah. Okay. So we have a question. I am working as a business analyst and have recently did CSPO. What should I do further to enhance my skills? I worked in operation for 7 years and then becoming a business analyst. So I will say, and you can see that many people are getting interested in the business analysis if you see our today's conversation as well as previous week conversation. So CSPO is good to know how to do your requirement, business, and the product development work in the Scrum environment. So that idea you must have received by doing of CSPO. Now, the ultimate essence is getting more and more expertise in your domain only. So my recommendation would be focus on analyzing products in your domain, developing more and more case studies, improving your business analysis skills, technically, business analysis and product management skills. You may need to do a more certification if you see a particular framework becoming relevant for you. For example, if you see that I have an opportunity to work in a safe environment, then you may pick up a safe POPM, but not necessarily to get the skills of doing the job, which probably will come from product analysis, product management, and business analysis learning. So from my side, no particular certification recommendation for product learning, but yes, you can do with the help of case studies. But in case if you are getting into safe word, then doing safe POPM might be a good idea. Yeah, that's something I can say. So someone is saying that I have an interview in the cybersecurity organization. What do I need to do before going in? So I think you better study about that organization. You show that you care for your interview. You show that you are prepared. You see what kind of a product they are doing, what kind of a challenges they might be facing. Even if you pick a few jargons related to their industry, I think that is good to show your care for your interview. So that my recommendation is visit their website, understand what is happening. If you want to invest little more, go to LinkedIn and check the people who are working in that company, see how they describe their roles and responsibility, how they interact on the social media, so you get some sense of what might be the priority for that organization for a Scrum Master role. So you can check the company XXX Scrum Master, Google or a LinkedIn. You can find all the profiles and understand what they might be doing. And then it's again, there is no script of an interview because they want to judge what you are doing and if are you matching with what we expect you to do here. So it's a good identification and knowing of each other. It's not like an evaluation of who is great and who is not. It's about matching that, do we fit for each other well. So you should give that opportunity for them to them as well to learn about you, as well as you need to learn about them. But if you set your mindset by knowing about the organization and the people who are playing role and type of things they are doing, then I think you might be little well prepared to put your experience and the answer in the context. So that's the recommendation I can give for you for your cybersecurity interview. Okay, so is there any certification available for agile transformation, since this is the sought after skills these days? So there is certification for everything. Yeah, so yeah, there is all the time. So in general, the agile transformation requires a agile coaching kind of profile. So you can do ICP ACC to get fundamentals of coaching. If you have already done it, then IC Agile also has a certified Agile Transformation CAT certification. You can do that. There are other change management bodies who runs various change management certifications. You can also look at them. We are doing the IC Agile ACC certification because a good amount of transformation content is included in that, and we are still thinking, should we have another certificate for transformation, because ICP ACC takes care of good amount of that content pretty especially our program takes care of pretty well. So there are many certifications, you can do it. Usually what I find, people who want to experience and project things for a transformation, it is little unlikely that someone hires a transformation lead just based on some knowledge. Just you studied something and you can say, I will transform your organization. So it's relatively unlikely. And sometimes, yeah, the profile might ask for a certification as an add-on, but direct certification, clicking the job or shortlisting the CV may not be that much. Right now might not be the case. Right now, maybe over a period of time, some transformation certificate becomes so common that people start searching on it, but it may not be right now. Right now, good search might be coming on ICP ACC for a agile coaching space, and after that, your profile matters. But yeah, the ICP CAT you can look at, the change management, APMG has a change management program you can look at, the Prosky has a change management program you can look at, and these are possible thing. Now, other than that, you can study the case studies. The Scaled Agile has various case studies, customer stories published. You can get a lot of ideas how different organizations has done transformation. The public resources on YouTube and all, you will find various organizations in various conferences talking about how they did it. So understanding it, finding out what was working and what was not working in a different environment, because mostly you will be asked to prepare a presentation for transformation. That's what how your interview will happen. And if you can bring some credible information, some credible pattern, and you can organize the information in a way where you show, after listening to a case study, how possibly I will design a roadmap for transformation, that skill development might be the key for doing it. And in our ICP-ACC class, we tend to educate that part. But yeah, that's something you can decide if you want to pick up the relevant certificate. Yeah. Okay, so this is what we have covered till now, and we can see if we have more ideas. I'm just checking if we have something on LinkedIn space. Yeah, in case if I am missing something here. Yeah. Okay, so before doing this, I was also experimenting with the clubhouse today, and we tend to put some rooms there or whatever it is, and we did something on PMP, so that could be the another possible channel. Yeah, let's see what it brings up. But yeah, that's the another possible channel for interaction. Let's see.
Yeah, definitely. We'll plan next, get together on Clubhouse.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm also not sure how it works and all, but yeah, how scalable and how easy it will be. But yeah, seems to be something to look at. Yeah, and probably it can also facilitate some of the interactions which we are doing. Good. So I think LinkedIn is okay. We don't have much. I think we taken care the topics I see there in that particular space. Yeah. So okay, we have an interview question coming in. How to deal with a difficult product owner as an agile coach in a mature team? Yeah. So see, what is the meaning of difficult? Yeah, maybe the one you need to ask a little bit more about it to your interviewer, because it all depends how do you approach the problem. So okay, what makes the product owner difficult? Yeah, I need to understand that. Yeah, in a simple word, anybody will say that anyone can go and handle people, and I need to understand the problem, etc., etc. So that is something is anyway could be the idea. But the essential part is I need to develop an empathy with the product owner. I need to listen him. I need to understand, or whatever, whoever it is. Could be a product owner, could be a scrum master, could be a developer also. So how do I deal with a difficult person? Now, first thing is, who tells it he's difficult? Yeah, so that's a perception. That's a perception built by you or by someone who labeled the person difficult. The person is person. That's the simple thing. So I not necessarily have to give a label of a difficult to the person. I can say, okay, there is a person who has a different set of priorities and values and needs over the other guy. I might want to have my team doing something. The other person is pushing us to get things done faster than what we expect. Yeah. And that's why people call him difficult, because the person is pushing for faster delivery. So I better drop the label of difficult. That's the first thing I do. And that's what helped me in doing stakeholder engagement all the time. That's something we can focus on. And then we say, okay, now the label of difficult is dropped. Now let's bring the issues on the table. What you want, what your needs are, what is our capability is. Sometimes we may not be able to handle it, and what we can really do. So ultimately, that I need to come up with some working agreement. Yeah. So what I can do and what you ask, if we don't have a working agreement, then how do we work together? And in order to have a working agreement, I need to first listen and understand, and then the common goal has to be derived. If I am trying to do A and the person is trying to do B, then there will be always a friction. So as a coach, as a scrum master, as a sponsor, or as a whoever is influential, I need to figure it out. How can we have a common goal established? Yeah. So say like Aisha pointing out something, that some people might be dictating the due dates for the user story, and saying whatever it is, I need this by this time. Okay. So, but do you really get it by doing it? If you have not received it by doing it multiple times, then what are we achieving by doing it? So this is a problem which I believe any leader or any project delivery leader will face it. Sometimes this problem will come in the form of a client. Sometimes this problem will come in the form of a stakeholder. Sometimes it will come in the form of a sponsor. Sometimes the problem is with the project manager. Sometimes the problem is with a coach or a scrum master or someone. Yeah, someone. So the only way to deal is that if we can create a collaboration and empathy in these two people for each other, then only the healthy conversation can happen. If I just want to say that I need this and I don't care, so in a conflict management space, we use a term forcing. Forcing is something, this is my way or highway. You must do it, or I'm done. So forcing is a way of doing conflict management, but it only works when the relationships are not important. So you can force sometime when you don't care what these guys do. If these guys will run away, we will hire another vendor. So if you are in that situation, then it's a difficult thing, because then the other guy is doing forcing conflict management, and he has no interest in what you feel about it and how do you do it, because even if you fail, he has some alternative. So then the situation could be a little tricky. But if you are not in an environment where forcing is a healthy thing, sometimes people may want to do forcing, but it might not be healthy for them also, because you are spoiling the relationship, you are making people take shortcuts, and which will hurt you at a later on. So I need to see as agile coach, if this forcing kind of conflict management is done when it is unhealthy, then I need to resolve, educate, and empathize, and ensure that people don't try to force on each other, because it is not going to work. Yeah, only it can work when I have replaceable skills, I have replaceable vendors. And if you are in that case, then maybe figure it out. How do you work your business model where you can meet customer expectation, because else they will go to someone else. So that could be a different thing. But in general, in a software space, in IT project management space, I presume it's very, very, really, it is very, very difficult to have a forcing working. It's just a matter of educating and working with people. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So another question coming in, probably the interview question again, how to make data-driven decision in order to manage conflict amongst developers. So I believe the whole idea of conflict is if we don't have an agreed upon goal, and if I'm looking left and somebody is looking right, then there will be always a conflict. So I need to find out, do we have a common goal? If there is nothing common, then it's something like you are trying to there is a piece of cake on the table and everybody is trying to take out of it. Yeah, then there is no collaboration there, because whoever takes more gets more. That's a difficult situation, and maybe that's not a team situation. But when you have a common goal that both of us wants to improve our delivery, both of us wants to create our happy work environment, both of us has something, then we can do something about it. So before getting into rational things and data driven things and all, we need to set the common goal. Now once the common goal is established, that okay, do you want to work happily with each other, do you want to decide something together? Once that is done, that's true, you have a common goal. Now when you have a common goal, what information we have to achieve that common goal? What kind of a data, what kind of information can help you doing things? Yeah, and once you have that information, and the open look at that information will makes your decision. So that's the way of making any collaborative decision. Now say, what possibly could be an example? Say someone is saying that okay, we should not be integrating every week or every day, yeah, something like this. We should be doing integration and release only at the end of a month, one person is saying, and team leader is saying we should do it every day. Now then we need to understand, okay, what are we trying to achieve by doing integration? What are the risk of not doing it? Okay, so we what is the goal? So if the goal is something understood, that okay, we want to have a less rework, less defects, and common goal, and then we see, is this goal is getting achieved by doing daily, hourly, or monthly? Yeah, and do we have an experience data which shows how the things has happened when we were doing A way, B way, or C way? So we see that and we find out which one is useful. So but if we don't have a common goal, then it's just like I am saying it you to do this and someone else is saying I am saying you to do this. Then it's a kind of little difficult thing, and difficult to resolve any conflict. Yeah, that's something we talk, yeah, in general. So my idea, expectation management and common goals, collaboration, and these things can only happen where we have a common goal first. If there is no common goal, then what can we collaborate on? Yeah, if I am looking for something else and you are looking for something else, then there is no collaboration happening. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good content on conflict management today, looks like. Okay. So we'll see if we have few more ideas coming in. Uh,
So before the next question, Saket, I would like to ask you something. How to motivate, how to make a creative and innovative team? So just put some
mhm.
light on this topic.
So I believe this is like so many experts and millions of books might have been written on this, and everybody has some formula, some advice, some tip, and I believe this is a problem which one has to figure it out. That we need to find out how can we create a spark or a desire for doing something. Yeah. Now as by default we understand in the project management space, we teach it significantly, that everybody has a different motivator. One of the simplest way, again I'm not saying it's the only way to look at, but one of the simplest way is the Maslow's need hierarchy talks about who needs what. So someone may just need a money to get motivated, someone may needs a recognition to get motivated, someone needs a kind of power and promotion to get motivated, and someone may just get motivated because they love what they are doing. Yeah. So the different people may have a different triggers for the motivation, and these triggers also keeps changing. It's not like today I might be loving what I'm doing, but tomorrow I may get worried about my EMI and the whole love goes somewhere else. So there is a possibility of these things happening here and there. Yeah. So now this whole thing, yeah, is something we need to see customizedly. Now, possibility, the clarity of the vision, ensuring how people buy into the vision, and then we take it forward is something is a starting point, and then people see how they are learning out of their whole journey. Now, what I have done and I prefer doing is that I try to make, especially when I worked as a project manager, I always made work and our organizational role, recognition, salary, these two things pretty separate. Yeah. And my whole idea was that if I can sell the idea of work as a path to growth, I am done. Yeah. And whenever I am unable to do that, whatever else is coming, it is not going to work. So if I can say that by doing this work, you are investing in your own career rather than something else. You are not doing anything for anyone. You learn it, you grow it, and it's up to you. Yeah. And if you don't do it, yeah, organization might be getting less productivity, but that's a small loss. They may lose some dollars, but you are losing your whole career. Yeah. So something which we make the whole correlationship, and then not everybody will buy in, not everybody cares about their life, and that's why people have different growth path. But yeah, that's what as a leader probably I can try. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
Saket, for sharing this.
perfect. Yeah, so we have a five dysfunctions question. Okay, this is something we learn and talk good in our agile coaching class. The five dysfunction, another way of doing team assessment. So the question, interview question coming in: establish how conflict is needed in a team. Yeah. So why do you need a conflict? Can we live without conflict? Yeah, that's the whole idea. And if it is needed, show it how it really helps. That seems to be the question. Now, so, see, do you need a conflict? The idea is, what is the meaning of conflict? So, as we learned, when we have a difference of opinion and we are trying to find out what should we do. Now, should you have a difference of opinion? Yeah, if you are doing something new, you must have a difference of opinion. If you are doing something which you have been doing from 100 years or 10 years, then you may not have a difference of opinion. Whenever the fire alarm will play, you need to run. You should not have a difference of opinion at that point in time. We should go or not go, and let's have a discussion which path we should go. There should be a clear path. This is the exit path. Everybody should follow that. So we don't want a difference of opinion when the fire is coming. Yeah, you just need to follow. But when you are developing a new product, new service, you want to go for a movie, yeah, you better have a difference of opinion to find out which movie you should go, yeah, or how to use your evening the best way. Because you don't go for a movie every other day. Yeah, this is not a very defined path. You want to make a best use of your time. You should figure it out what is the best use of your time. So when we have a creative things, when the problems are not having defined solution, if people are not discussing different ways of solving that problem, then we are not getting the right or a better solution. We are not taking the views in account. So by promoting the environment where people can put their point without hesitating about, oh, I should not be opposing somebody's idea, then we have more ideas coming on the table, which leads to a better and creative problem solving. So that's the whole idea. And probably that's how you can also touch upon five dysfunctions. But if you want to prepare about five dysfunctions for an interview, the Patrick has a whole 40 minutes video where he's teaching his view on five dysfunctions. If you don't want to read the book, you can go to YouTube and check his video where he explains this concept pretty well. So I better let you read from the writer rather than I give my interpretation on it. Okay, is 2 days of CSM training and clearing the certification exam makes an individual ready to go for CSM job interviews? So see, the idea here is, uh, what is the job interview? And it is judging your skills. Yeah, judging your skill for a role. That's the idea. So what I need to understand is, what does it take to perform a role of a Scrum Master? Yeah. So the 2 days of CSM certificate must makes you very clear what does it take to become a good Scrum Master. That's the primary objective of it. Now you understand you cannot transform someone even in a 2 years program. 2 days is anyway something, but you can make someone educated about what does it take. Now, after that, or before that, not necessarily linked with the certification, you need to see what is your existing skills and where are the gaps. What is your existing experience and where are the gaps? And you need to come up with a strategy to fill that. Yeah, that's the only thing you need to do. And maybe your title might be ABC before, but the things which matters in the role where it's a leadership role, as I have been keep telling. So it's a team leadership role. What all it takes to lead a team without telling them what to do. And that's a skill which is needed for all the leaders nowadays. So that's the skill we learn. That's what we learn from a CSM class. Now, on top of it, the CSM also, the Scrum role may also expect a lot of expertise in Scrum that you can learn and study. We have significant amount of Scrum Master interview videos. You can go to YouTube and check our 70 plus videos. It must be having 50 plus hours of video content. If you go through them, I think probably whatever possible scenario you may get, you listen to it. But again, your answer is going to be your answer, unique answer, not necessarily something which is a script which you can play. But yeah, knowing Scrum beyond 2 days CSM might be needed. And after that, you need to package your experience for a team leadership role. Yeah. Okay. What we focus on. So if SAFe has a part, or in a SAFe as a part of program increment planning, we do a planning. Okay. And when we do a execution, customer comes with a change request. How do we handle such change request? Customer says it is agile, not predictive. So see, in general, the change request does not exist in SAFe. Yeah. And it is a one team. It's a one team which is working together for a common goal. So customer, you, all of you are same. It's the same thing. You need to do together. Now, why you probably want to have a goal level understanding for upcoming duration? Because if you do these kind of a fluctuation in between, it can probably confuse the whole system, and that creates a rework in the system. So say you thought about something, you started working on it, few teams might have done 50% work of it, and now something is coming, new discovery is getting made. So the recommendation is that better we wait for a current cycle, which is called PI in case of SAFe, to finish, so that the new things can be done. Else we will have a rework, we end up cleaning up and doing it. Now, once in a while, that might be okay. But if it repetitive, you are losing organization assets. You are using organization money and time. What is the use of making everybody think, plan together? After 1 week, you say, this is not what we wanted to, make something else. Why then you did those long hours meetings? Yeah, it is all waste. And some team might have worked on it. So we do want to minimize that, primarily to reduce waste. That's the only idea. And uh, and how do we do that? By way of improving our understanding, our predictability for the upcoming duration, PI duration, whatever it is. You may reduce the PI duration in order to get it done. So it is not about, this is not in agile or in agile. It's all about pragmatic. The scaled agile primarily clearly explicit we make economic decision. So is it economic to plan something and do something else? Or is it economic to do a short duration planning in detail, get it done, and then do another short duration planning and continue doing like this? But if because of whatever situation, this short duration is becoming too much, then you may need to relook. Is this the framework right for us? Or we may need to do something else. Yeah, so that could be also a possibility, because framework facilitates our business. Yeah, business is not changing because of a framework. Yeah, because if the business has something, we need to find out how do we work together so that we achieve our business objective. So ultimate objective is delivering value. The scaled agile clearly tells you, when they talk about their lean principle, that we are here to deliver value and make economic decision, not about this is right or that is not right. So I think that communication and exploration can probably help. Yeah. But formally, there is no process of a change request as a recognized process in scaled agile framework. So there is no change control board or something from a framework side point of view. Yeah. Okay. Interesting question. Does the Jira experience come up in the interview for the position of Scrum Master? If yes, how? High probability, 50% probability. So 50% probability that you may get questions related to tools. That's, I am telling based on my Scrum Master job interview analysis. So job vacancies analysis. People do, I do end up seeing the job vacancies where these tool related skills are asked, and especially the Jira appears good number of time. Now, it might not be that difficult to develop that expertise. You may want to, I think the Atlassian has some free version as well. Till some team members you can configure and experience it. Uh, in many cases, the organization wants to know that have you worked in a little managed environment? Do you have something in place? And with this virtual way of working, this is also becoming more and more important. So you need to have some essence of it. We do run a mentoring program which can help you in experting in your Jira. In case you want to do it, you can check with us. We have our 𝐎𝐲𝐞𝐧 mentors who can help you specifically create a customized program for you to educate you on Jira, so that you can experiment and you can see how to make burn down chart and etc on Jira. So you can probably handle those specific questions. Yeah, if you are not getting the opportunity in your own space, Atlassian has a good amount of video content also, so you may want to see how this whole thing works. Yeah, if you spend some time, you can explore your own, but if you want some assistance, you can also explore with our 𝐎𝐲𝐞𝐧 group. Yeah, that's something we can tell. Yeah. Okay, so the question coming in, do we have a metrics in SAFe? Yeah, and what are they, how frequently they are used, etc. So see, Scaled Agile Framework, the ultimate source for SAFe is scaledagileframework.com. And there is a space where you click metrics and it will open up the whole page. And you will see that they have a metrics for a team level, for ART level, for a portfolio level. There are different matrices. You know, the different area may require different data collection. So the whole idea is, how do I make my team responding and working well? How do I increase collaboration at a PI level? And how do I move forward for the higher level as well, the portfolio level as well? So you can check upon those things. One of the program level metrics which is pretty popular and the SAFe promotes it more significantly is called PI predictability measurement, which primarily focuses on how predictable the value delivery is from a particular agile release stream. So it's relatively a big topic to pick up those matrices. I encourage you to check upon the scaledagileframework.com matrix space to get more ideas, but there are good number of matrices. The frequency, the team level matrices could be coming at iteration boundaries. So each time box, so whenever in any agile world, the frequency will be the rhythm of a time box only. So there will be matrices which are coming 2 weeks level. There will be matrices which are coming at a PI levels. There will be a matrices which might be coming at little 2 PI or a little higher level. You know, budgetary related metrics at a portfolio level may come into 6 months kind of a cycle also. So there are a different frequency based on at what time box or a cadence you are measuring something. Yeah. So how can one do a successful virtual PI planning meeting? So people are using a lot of tools, the general collaboration tools like Jamboard, Miro, PIplanning.io, all are frequently getting used. And all your product management tools like Atlassian and all are also supporting the background work. Yeah, so there is a good amount of online content. The essential part which I see is that ability to share what you are planning. So if you are already using some tool in your organization, that might play the critical role. But yeah, the PIplanning.io, they were doing good promotion and showing how possibly a PI planning can be done using that tool. But I see people doing pretty effectively in a Miro as well, in general Jamboards as well. Miro also, I think, came up with a template for showing how to do a PI planning. So they created a template for API planning. So good amount of content is there. Okay, so what is the role of a Scrum Master in a release sprint? So again, so release sprint itself might become a question mark, that sprint is a sprint. So you may not have anything which is A sprint or B sprint. You don't want to differentiate that. There is no sprint to start, there is no sprint to end. Sprint is sprint. And the role of Scrum Master is also a facilitator role. So you can say, whenever something get blocked, I need to unblock it. That's the role you play. That's the whole game you are in. Yeah, so that's what the Scrum Master should be doing, facilitating teams moving forward, facilitating by removing their bottlenecks, and delegating it also. You should not be always the sole facilitator. You should be teaching how to do facilitation, so that you also doesn't not end up becoming a bottleneck in the system. You know, so it should not happen when the Scrum Master is not there. People are unable to conduct meeting. So yeah, so you ensure the things are happening, and if something is getting blocked, you resolve it. That something is the role of a Scrum Master in all the sprints or whatever you do on a regular basis. Yeah. Okay, so this is something we can say. I think we got some answers, questions. Okay. Good. I think we covered most of these questions. If I'm just browsing back to see if there is something. So, can someone without an IT or a project management experience succeed as a Scrum Master? I do see many cases coming in where there are. Usually, you find less and less cases because not many people who are coming from outside area try to join Scrum Master profile. So it is not like you may say, oh, I look at a profile and everybody from IT is becoming a Scrum Master or a project management guy, because they might be more aspiring to become a Scrum Master. So the basic recommendation is look at what does it take to do a leadership role like a Scrum Master. And once you have that, maybe a CSM certificate can give you the understanding of what does it take, what is the role and responsibility of Scrum Master. And once you have that understanding, then you focus on how I can move forward, what are my gaps, how can I fill those gaps. So that's a simple yet creative process. It looks a straightforward statement, but yeah, that's a creative process one has to apply to find out what does it take to become a team level leadership role. And it's a leadership role. If you can do a Scrum Master role, you should be able to do other facilitation role, project management role, other roles as well. Just one more additional thing, one has to be expert in Scrum as well. So you play a leadership in the Scrum context. That's the way I look at it. Maybe the formal definition might be different, but the way I look at it, you lead, facilitate the team so that they get what they wanted to get as per the business delivery. And what does it take? You need to fill that gap. Okay, so here we are reaching to our ending time, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, Saket. And today, actually, I was thinking when Meghna asked this question, how to conduct PI planning with the help of tools. So we are saving so much paper these days by conducting all these activities, trainings online. And the advantage I'm seeing, see, after all the activities, you can download your files PDF as well. So, and saving trees and, saving your environment too. So I promote virtual collaboration tools and all these things. So, guys, do join these things and save the papers. And yeah, so one important information I would like to share, we are reducing the frequency of our sessions. So, next session we'll have on the second week of Friday, Feb, second Friday of Feb. So I'll share the details soon. We'll post the banner on the LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, and you can post your questions. It's not like if we'll see something, if you want to ask something urgent, definitely we'll catch up on other channels as well. So we are active on LinkedIn. You can connect us on the sales at eisenbridge.com. I'm quite active on LinkedIn as well, so you can post your questions there also. And yeah, so this is all from my side. And Saket, any last minute thoughts would you like to share with the visitors?
No, I think all good, and I think we are going with a pattern of second and fourth Friday events now. So it looks like that we can get more interesting conversation and give a break of 1 week in between, and yeah, and then we can make use leverage other async channel for more communications. Yeah, so that's something we are aspiring to. Good. Yeah.
And you're welcome, Meghna, Jyotsna, Gaurav, and thank you very much, guys, for adding value and asking these questions. It's not useful for you only, it's helping others also. So thank you very much for joining this, asking questions, and just, be continue with us and join us on the next Friday. I mean, next to next Friday. And this is the time to say bye and take care of yourself, and we'll catch up again. Bye for now.